Hi everyone, and welcome back with my history of DC. It's that time. It's finally that time to talk about the big debate. Has been going on since the beginning of time. Man versus animal. Nature versus nurture. Marvel versus DC. Okay, it's Batman versus Superman. I'm not going to talk about the fighting aspect. No, if they actually went to fist fight. Come on, let's be a little bit more realistic. Even as biased as I am, I can be very biased. I understand, like, 7 out of 10 or, 9 out of 11 times, or 8 out of 11 times, I know Superman will destroy Batman any day. I will post, that video. It's from a different reviewer that actually... Well, there is a list of reasons another reviewer has done on why Superman will beat Batman any given day. I will post that on my Facebook. I won't post it on here without his permission. But, no, he'll get more hits on Facebook and all that. He'll like that. But anyways, yes. I'm actually going to talk about the characterization, the personalities, stuff that nobody talks about. And it's actually a very big difference. A lot of people just go, oh, well, I want to see them fight. I don't want to see them fight. They shouldn't fight. They're actually been very good friends. Since they met, they really ended up connecting with each other. Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent really connected. And Batman and Clark Kent really connected, and there's a big difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman people. I will explain that later. Yes. And Batman and Superman are loyal. Really loyal. They will possibly kill for each other. That type of loyalty that they have for each other. So I'm going to talk a little bit about their personalities. Let's talk about who I know more about. I know more about Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I'll explain the difference between them now. Okay, as many of you know, Bruce Wayne, when he was a little kid, after exiting a theater, he sees his parents get shot and murdered from a failed robbery right in front of him, and he basically has to be taken care of by his brother Alfred for the rest of his life. So he's never known family, and so he's very dark, he's very depressed all the time. He always thinks about the whole murder, and I'm gonna say this right away. That's the main reason I don't relate to Batman, because that's when Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. And this is, well, we'll talk a little bit more. Yes. Okay, let's continue on. This is when Bruce Wayne stops being Bruce Wayne. He has no opportunity to really grow and being raised by his parents, and so from then on, he is Batman, and I'll explain a little bit more later on. So basically, his whole life is to take that vengeance, that rage, onto the criminals of Gotham, but he never kills. He never kills any one of them, even though he has all the motives and all the rights to kill all the villains and criminals, all you want to see. What he's experienced for, I wouldn't blame him if he ever did, but no, that's what makes Batman pretty awesome, is that he's been through all this darkness, yet he does not kill. Now, let me explain the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman. When Bruce Wayne's out in public, he has to act a certain way. He has to act like a rich billionaire. He has to pretend to be this high-class man. And no, he learns basically by watching the TV, watching other people, and he's observed on how these high-end class people interact with each other. And so Bruce Wayne Batman personifies Bruce Wayne through that. Yeah, very interesting, huh? A lot of people don't think it that way, but I do, and I know why. No, because when his parents died, he stopped being Bruce Wayne and became Batman for the rest of his life. So he's always Batman. Always Batman. Now, let's talk about Superman. The exact opposite, people. The exact opposite. Superman, from what I've learned from word of mouth and some comic book reviews and movies, cartoon, TV shows, and all that jazz. Smallville. Smallville, I love Smallville. So, basically, he comes from this planet Krypton, and it's about to blow up or be destroyed. Whatever continuity you believe. Like, they explain a million ways, apparently. His parents sent him off as a baby to Earth. He wasn't programmed for Earth. Who knows? But he lands on Earth and gets picked up by the Kents. And they raise him as his own. So they name him Clark Kent. With his original name, I probably cannot pronounce it. I don't have very good speech, though. I will not try to pronounce it. So he gets raised like any normal child would. Until about his teenage years, he starts realizing he's faster than everyone, he's stronger than everyone, he can outrun a speeding train, and he's like, okay, something's going on. And his father, Jonathan Kent, I believe it was Jonathan Kent, yeah. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't read Superman comics, but I do understand the mythos. Enough. And hands him a crystal and says, this will explain everything. And when he takes it, basically leads him, puts an image in his head or whatever. It's freaking technology crystal. It can do anything. And he goes to his Fortress of Solitude, that big giant crystal cave castle thing, and puts the crystal in, and he gets introduced to his birth father, and says, no, you're going to be considered a god here, and you're going to do great things, and you're going to make this a better world. And from some of the continuity, what I've learned, basically goes, oh, yay, great! Puts on Superman outfit and flies off. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Explain a little bit. I believe he will not act that way. Now, from what I've seen in Smallville, and heard word of mouth about how Superman is and how Clark Kent is, yes. You didn't think I was going to do that either. But I am. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. He would not accept that easily. He would not just go, oh great, now I get this costume, I'll be a superhero, yay. No, he will not accept it that easily. I believe this is how Mario will go. He'll basically say to his birth father, I am just a man. No, because he's been raised as a man. I am just one person. Again, he's raised as a human being, as a person. I have no verdict on to run these people's life. I have no say to run this world. This is their world, their planet. I have no jurisdiction to do this. I believe it's not till he gets to talk from his adopted parents who encourage him to do better. Encourage him to be a great person. And that's when he decides to be a hero. It's when his parents sat him down, really talked to him. And it's not till after his adopted father dies that he becomes Superman. Well, I've seen it in the movie, and Apparently in Smallville, he's always Superman. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. I like Smallville because it portrays Clark Kent and Superman very perfectly. So, it's not till, I believe, after he gets inspiration from his parents and his father dies that he goes, I need to change something. I need to do something to make this world better for them. Not for me, for them. That's when he puts on the costume. And that's when he becomes Superman. When he becomes Superman, how Clark Kent personifies Superman is what he learns from his adopted parents. And some stuff that he learns from his birth father. He has this recordings from this crystal that he could basically talk to it. And the recording will talk back like he's there, already there. But I don't believe that Clark Kent will actually agree with a lot of stuff his birth father says. That, a lot of stuff, he'll probably go, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do it this way because this is what I believe in. So he'll rather talk to his adopted mother and for a lot of guidance. And in Smallville, he does that a lot, talks to his adopted mother for guidance. A lot more than this, being that he's never met before. And it's his birth father. And he goes, okay, this guy's my birth father, but I don't even know him. That's the difference between Batman and Superman. It's nature versus nurture. And I always believe that nurture will always overpower nature. No, I don't believe that we are programmed to be the way we are. We are sculpted. We are built. We are guided to be this person we are today. And what we learn from our past, what we learn from our parents, birth parents or adopted parents, what we learn from them throughout the ages until they let us go on to our own, is how we like to see ourselves, who we are, who we were, and who we're going to be. Are we going to be like our father or our mother? No. Are we going to be caring and loving? Are we going to be strict? Are we going to be a good person or bad person? It's all on how we are raised. We are not genetically programmed to act the way we are, people. I do not believe this. I will stand this until the day I die. We are not programmed to be where we are. And a lot of people say that, and that's the biggest thing why people cannot compare and relate to Superman. They go, well, he's from a different planet. That makes him not human. I relate to Clark Kent a lot more than I relate to Superman. I relate to Clark Kent more than I relate to Batman. I don't even know who Bruce Wayne is. Because he doesn't even know who he is. Because his parents died before he could find out who he is. We are raised till a certain age. Like 17, 18 years old is when we finally get our personality, our own individual characters, when we become our own person. That's when we become our own person, like during the teenage years. Not even like 13, this is more like 15 to 18 years old. Is when we start becoming our own person. And he never had that chance to become his own person. He always has vengeance guiding him. He always has that death of his parents engraved into his brain, burned into his memories, and that's what drives him. Superman, on the other hand, has been raised by these human beings for most of his life, not even all of his life. He's been raised by these human beings, these good, kind, loving parents that become basically who he looks up to, who he takes guidance from. And that's how he becomes who he is. And that's why I will relate to Clark Kent any day over Batman. I could never relate to Batman. I hope and pray that none of you can either, because what Batman's been through. He's been through so much. He's been through so much hell and so much misery. And when you people go, well, Superman doesn't have that interesting villains then, no. Talk about character, and basically villains make up the hero, conflict makes up the hero, makes him stronger. Superman has to fight against Brainiac, he has to fight against Lex Luthor, the smartest, villains in the DC universe. Batman does have to face against Riddler and the Joker. Also smart, one of the smartest characters in the DC. And you go, well, I like to see Superman face against Joker and all that. Well, people, he does. This is Superman Emperor Joker. This is a whole comic where Superman has to face against Joker. Not just Joker, but the Joker who has the powers and ability to take over a whole dimension, a whole universe. He gets these powers to be able to be basically a god in this universe that he's created. And that's a lot bigger than anything Batman has to face against. Oh yeah, Joker is freaking messed up. He'll scalp your skull open. He'll basically rape your mother and take pictures and torture you on hours. This is an awful, awful character. And that basically makes a hero because he has to face against creatures like that or men like that, and people that just make you go, oh, I just want to see this guy dead, but they never do. They never kill these freaking monsters. Superman never kills Lex Luthor. I don't know how much destruction that Lex Luthor has put on. He's never killed Brainiac on how many planets that guy has destroyed, and basically has his own city, Krypton. A whole city from Krypton in a bottle. And yet he never kills a alien being that could take over the whole universe because he's so freaking smart. They are both equal in that aspect. They are better people than I could be. They are better people than you could be. And that's basically what we hope to strive for. That's why we read comics. We hope to strive for something better. We hope to strive for something greater. And that's what makes us human beings. And that's what Superman always does. That's what Clark Kent always does. But Batman will always be the more interesting character. Batman will always be the one who comes up on top if it's Superman versus Batman debate. No, I don't read Superman comics. I read Batman comics. Why is that? No, Superman can't face off any of Batman's villains. No, he can face off any Batman villain that has unknown power and genius and is evil and all that, and has more greater power than himself. Superman can't face off all that stuff. So why do we like Batman better? Why is there more fans of Batman than Superman? Because Superman has never been through. Clark Kent, Superman has never been through what Batman has been through. And that's why we root for Batman. That's why I will always wave my Batman flag when it goes Superman versus Batman. I don't fight. I will always root for Batman. Because he's won 3 times out of 11 fights. No, 3 times. Basically, 12 fights. He wins 3 times against Superman. Wonderful, but they should never fight. No, they're both individually very interesting characters. If you always think that Superman's not an interesting character, hopefully I've changed your minds. Hopefully I made you think a little differently. I don't find Superman very interesting either, but I find Clark Kent interesting. I relate more to Clark Kent. Superman is the persona that he learned from his parents on what it means to be a hero, what it means to be a good person. And that's why he's the Boy Scout. That's why he's America's famous hero. He pretends to be perfect. He pretends to be he pretends to basically be this perfect superhero. On the inside, he's probably screaming. Inside, he's probably crying. He's probably going, why am I doing this? But we never see that. We never see the conflict when Superman is Superman. When most comics, when Clark Kent is mostly his fun, la 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 la. But when it comes to Batman, we see the darkness. We see it. We see the conflict. And that's why Superman is more popular. That's why he's more interesting, even to me. Batman is by far the superior hero in our minds because we get to see it. And we get to see the agony. We get to see the darkness. In my mind, Batman will always be the better comics, but will never be the better character to look up to. Because he's been through so okay. I'm sorry, I'm just losing track. What I meant to say is Batman is a hero to look up to only when it comes to doing better for others, because he'll never ever allow what happened to him happen to anybody else. That one makes him a great hero. No, I don't like the dark Batman. I don't like the creepy Batman. I love the Batman that will do anything and everything to save his town. Anything and everything to save the world. Anything and everything to protect the Justice League. That's the Batman I root for. I don't root for how dark he is. I don't root for that he's gritty. I root for how great a person he is. Even though he could be just like the Joker. Well, until next time, I'm Kyle Brown. My next video will finally talk about the New 52, so stay tuned. Well, look at my Facebook for that list of Superman versus Batman traits. Until next time, have a great day.